Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because we are going to look at something that is just going to completely redefine the concepts of patience and precision for you. We're talking miniature architecture. But actually, scratch that. It's not just any miniature. We are looking at a massive structure built entirely out of one of the most common, fragile, and honestly volatile little items you've probably got sitting in a kitchen drawer right now. Okay, let's dive right into this architectural deconstruction.
So here is a question for you. How exactly do you build an empire out of kindling? It's a pretty wild thought, right? How do you take something as mundane and completely disposable as a simple matchstick and use it to recreate one of the most enduring, legendary empires in human history? Just hold that thought for a second, because the answer requires a literally ridiculous amount of dedication.
And this right here perfectly captures what we're talking about today. I mean, just look at this. Take a second to really let your eyes wander over the details. What we've got is a stunning macro view of a model Roman Colosseum, resting right there on a wooden workshop table. And here's the kicker. Every single element you are looking at, the curving walls, the intricate arches, the massive rims, it's all constructed entirely out of matchsticks. It is a literal monument in miniature. The scale of it, the rich texture, and man, that immediate visual punch of the bright red popping against that pale wood, it is absolutely staggering when it really clicks what you're looking at.
Section 1. A monument in miniature. Establishing the scope.
So, here's our quick roadmap for how we're going to tackle this vertical journey. First up, we'll look at the base with its bare open arches. Second, we'll move up to the middle tiers, checking out those striking crimson arches. And finally, we'll cap it all off by examining the top rim, which forms this incredibly dense red crown.
Section 2. The foundation without fire. Okay, so I want you to look really closely at the ground floor arches, resting right there on the table. Notice anything? You won't see a single red match head down there. It is entirely pure pale wood. And you know, this implies an absolutely incredible amount of hidden, painstaking labor. Because before they could even start assembling this foundation, the artist had to meticulously snip or maybe carve off the volatile red tip from hundreds, maybe thousands of individual matchsticks, all just to create these smooth, perfectly uniform pillars and archways.
Pure wood, open space, hidden labor. By completely removing those match heads, the artist created this beautifully minimalist yet incredibly sturdy visual foundation. Notice how the negative space, like those dark, empty voids inside the bottom arches, actually anchors the whole piece. It gives your eyes a place to rest, right? And it provides a visual base that feels strong enough to support all the heavier, much busier tiers sitting on top of it. It's honestly a masterclass in how to use negative space.
Section 3. Crafting the crimson arches. Now, the visual dynamic takes a huge shift right here. We're moving from that open architectural space down on the ground floor where, you can see right through the arches into the dark interior, up to this incredibly dense, color-blocked space in the upper arches. All of a sudden, that negative space, it's completely gone. It's replaced by this absolute explosion of tightly packed red match heads. Now, what's really fascinating here is the sheer honeycomb density of those red tips in the second and third tiers. Instead of leaving these archways open like the bottom ones, the artists packed them totally solid. And just look at the meticulous alignment required to pull that off. They had to take dozens of matches, keep the red heads completely intact, and then bundle them together so tightly that they perfectly fill that curved shape of the arch frame. The friction, the patience, and the precision needed to keep all of those perfectly in place and completely flush with the exterior wall, it's just mind-boggling.
So, the really crucial takeaway here is the intense precision on display. If we break down the observable signs of craftsmanship in these middle tiers, it's not just about the arches. Take a look at the exterior walls. The matchsticks are laid horizontally, and the wood grains are just beautifully aligned. And look closely at how those horizontal matches are staggered. They're actually cut into different lengths to perfectly mimic the staggered stone blocks of real-life masonry. Oh, and definitely don't miss those tiny, absolutely perfect square window cutouts placed right between the archways. It's incredible structural ingenuity, all pretending to be just simple woodwork.
Section 4. The solid red crown. Now, let's guide your eyes all the way up to the very top rim of the Colosseum. Notice how the orientation of the matchsticks has completely changed once again. In the walls, they were horizontal. In the arches, they were bundled facing outward. But up here,
They are stacked completely vertically in these massive concentric rings, with the dense red match heads pointing straight up toward the ceiling. This overwhelming density creates a super thick, completely unbroken circular rim that just perfectly caps off the entire piece.
It creates this brilliant flash of color, almost like it's just waiting for a spark. This thick crimson crown, sitting right against the pale wood of the walls beneath it, is incredibly striking visually. But, it also bridges a really cool gap for us as viewers. It takes us from just admiring the sheer technique to really thinking about the underlying theme. Because sure, it looks beautiful and orderly, but knowing what we know about matches, it simultaneously looks highly combustible. It's like a giant powder keg just waiting to go off.
Section 5. The Art of the Matchstick.
Now, if you look past the Colosseum itself for a second, notice the softly blurred background. You can see the dark wood of a workbench and the faint outlines of some metal tools hanging up on the wall back there. And this framing? It's entirely intentional. It firmly places this unbelievable piece squarely in reality. It's a great reminder that this is a tangible, super labor-intensive creation, sitting quietly in a workshop, painstakingly born from a wildly unlikely, everyday material.
And that right there frames the ultimate core tension of this artwork. Just think about the comparison we're dealing with here. The medium the artist chose to use is super fragile, highly flammable, and fundamentally temporary. I mean, matches are literally designed to be destroyed after a single use. Yet the subject they chose to build is the Roman Colosseum, a structure that is absolutely massive, made of solid stone, and has endured for thousands of years. It is the ultimate clash of impermanence and eternity.
Which leaves us with this final, beautiful irony to ponder. Why spend countless hours snipping, gluing, and obsessively aligning things just to build an eternal monument out of something designed to burn up in seconds? Is it just to prove it can be done? Or maybe it's a poignant reminder that even the absolute greatest empires eventually turn to ash. Whatever the real reason is, the dedication required to construct this masterpiece is totally undeniable. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. I really hope you found this architectural deconstruction as fascinating as I did. Keep observing the little details around you, and I will catch you next time.